With high altitude jumps comes the extra element of using supplemental oxygen to prevent hypoxia. Whether this is your first time jumping with oxygen or whether you are a seasoned veteran, please take a moment to listen to the following instructions, as details may differ between drop zones and prior events. Let's first discuss hypoxia and some of the common symptoms. Hypoxia is caused by a lack of oxygen. It is possible on any jump and to any jumper. The symptoms may vary depending on the person, but some common signs to look for are confusion, lips or nail beds turning blue, colors fading, tunnel vision, irrational behavior, hyperfixation, or even laughing for no reason. It's critical that we monitor both ourselves and our fellow teammates, as we may not personally recognize the symptoms. Let's be safe and look out for one another. Each individual jumper will be provided with a cannula for personal use for the duration of the event. Please take good care of your cannulas and check for any kinks or blockages before each jump. I would suggest making this part of your gear check. The recommended way to wear the cannula is to place the nasal prongs in your nose with the straps looped around your ears and the slider tightened under your chin. Note that the cannula should be worn and routed in the front for safer removal. We never want to route the cannula around the back, like so, as this could become a noose in an emergency. It is suggested not to cut off the excess tubing until you know where you are and sitting on the plane. To store the excess, one option is to loop it like so and place it in the front of your jumpsuit with the connector coming out the top. Another way you can wear it is through the jumpsuit with the connector coming out near the hand. It is important to note that the oxygen source is supplemental. This means that you're still breathing air normally, but that you have pure oxygen enhancing each breath. If you choose to have the oxygen tube straight in your mouth, be sure that you're breathing around the tube. Sucking straight from the tube may lead to hypoxia. Good. Bad. Continue to stay vigilant during the ride to altitude to confirm the tube doesn't become pinched or disconnected, especially when it's time to stand up and get the benches up. You may notice a change in the sound of the airflow if a restriction occurs. Here at Skydive Arizona, each plane will have a leader with a connector prepared. Please do not tamper with the length of the tube or tie knots into it, as this may be used by somebody else later in the event. Likely by 10,000 feet, your plane captain will have a final huddle and initiate handshakes. Now is the time to ensure that your cannula is fitted, your helmet is donned, and your gear checks are performed. After this point, please minimize talking and moving to prevent hypoxia. The pilot will start the flow of oxygen at a predetermined altitude. Hand signals will be used to communicate that each jumper feels the oxygen begin, as well as requests for any changes to the flow. An OK sign or a circle is the indication that you are receiving oxygen. A thumbs up or a finger pointing up should be used to ask for more oxygen, where a thumbs down or a finger pointing down should be used to request less oxygen. As tempting as it may be, please avoid using the thumbs up when the oxygen kicks on, as it may be miscommunicated that you need more oxygen. If the flow stops for an individual, start at the oxygen rail and follow the tube, inspecting all the way to the cannula for any kinks. If somebody gets hypoxic, do not talk, but calmly determine the root cause and implement a fix. They should be able to rebound quickly. We cannot do this record without all members. If somebody does not recover and stays hypoxic, it is a medical emergency. The skydive must be aborted. Communicate this to the pilot, and they have been instructed to descend quickly. Remember, keep oxygen connected until the last possible moment. Nobody should disconnect before the green light. The green light sometimes is as long as 20 to 30 seconds before the exit, so stay connected as long as possible. In conclusion, the symptoms of hypoxia may include confusion, lips or nail beds turning blue, colors fading, tunnel vision, irrational behavior, hyperfixation, or laughing for no reason. Let's keep an eye on ourselves and each other. Minimize talking and moving once the oxygen is flowing. Use hand signals for communication, and remember that the thumbs up is reserved for more oxygen. Let's keep the oxygen on as long as possible. And remember, hypoxia can become a medical emergency and the skydive should be aborted. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact one of your organizers or your plane captain. Thank you for your attention to this safety briefing.